Hey y'all, let's do some meal prepping together.
Okay, y'all, we're gonna start with breakfast first and make some egg muffins. So we've got 1 pound of breakfast sausage crumbling in the pan right now. And then we're gonna throw in 4 strips of bacon that I had left over from a previous meal. We're gonna go ahead and throw those in the egg muffins too. We're gonna crack 12 eggs into a bowl. And then we're gonna add a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. And then we're gonna give it a mixy mix with our mixer. And while the bacon is still frying in the skillet, we're gonna take our pre-formed frozen burger patties and we're gonna put them in a Ziploc bag. And then we're just gonna put those in the freezer until we're ready to cook as many as we want. And then we're gonna take our cooked bacon, it's nice and crumbly now, and we're just gonna chop it up. I probably didn't need a knife for this. I probably could have done it with my hands, but then that would have been really messy. And then we're gonna take some unsalted butter and we're just gonna line the inside of these muffin pans. Now this is a silicone muffin pan. You don't really need to do this, but I just think it makes the outside of the muffins a little more crispy. And then we're gonna start pouring our egg mixture into the muffin pan until the cups are full. And then we're just gonna add 2 tablespoons each of the crumbled sausage to half of the muffins. And the other half, we're gonna put in the crumbled bacon that we made. So we're gonna have 6 sausage and 6 bacon. And then after that, we're gonna go ahead and start adding our cheese. I like the Mexican style blend, but you can add any cheese you want, pepper jack, sharp cheddar, mozzarella, whatever you want. But we prefer this one because it's kind of a mixed blend here. So we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of the shredded cheese on top of the, the muffin, the egg mixture here. It's kind of hard to scoop it out of the bag there, but we got it. Okay, then we're just gonna take a butter knife and just kind of mix everything in a little bit before we throw it in the oven. Then we're gonna pop them in at 350. We're gonna put them in for 20 minutes and then we'll check them after the 20 minutes to see how they're doing. And while those are in the oven, we're gonna take our leftover crumbled sausage, put it in an airtight container. We're gonna stick that in the fridge until we're ready to use it again. We can add it to some more egg scramble, add it to a beef mixture later on. And now we're just taking a pound of ground beef, and then we're gonna take a pound of ground turkey and we're just gonna crumble that and cook it in the pan. And now we're just gonna check our egg muffins while our beef and turkey is cooking on the stove. And when I took them out, the ones here in the middle were still squishy. So we just popped them back in the oven for another 5 minutes. And then while we're doing that, we're just flipping our meat over because it was frozen, and this is how we cook frozen meat in the pan. We just cook one side, flip it over, and then cook the other side and just keep scraping off the cooked parts. And now we're just checking on the egg muffins. They went in for another 5 minutes and it looks like they are all nice and puffy and ready to eat. But before we do that, we're gonna take them and put them on a cooling rack because if you let them cool in the pan and then put them in a Ziploc bag, they get a slimy texture to them. So we just throw them on top of the cooling rack, let them cool fully before we actually put them in the Ziploc bag and then put them in the refrigerator. And it looks like our meat mixture is cooked all the way. We just want to make sure that there's no pink or red in there. We want to make sure it's fully cooked. And then we're gonna add just some salt to it. That's all we're gonna season it with. And then if you want to add something else later, you can, but right now we're just doing the basics with just salt. Now we're just gonna take our meat chopper and just make sure we break up any big chunks in there. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter, but you know, it just makes it easier for me to eat that way. So we're gonna let this meat mixture cool before we put it in a container. And now we're gonna get started on the chicken thighs. Okay, so we're just gonna place our raw chicken thighs in a big baking sheet with a rack on top. And we're just gonna pat them dry real good with a paper towel. We just wanna do the tops of the skin. We don't need to worry about the other side where there's no skin. And then I love this chicken pollo seasoning. I love it on chicken. I know it's not, you know, regular salt, but it's just really tasty. So we're just gonna sprinkle both sides of the chickens. We're gonna do the skin, and then we're gonna flip them over and do the other side of the meat. And make sure you apply it liberally, because chicken's one of those that takes a lot to give it some flavor and seasoning. So, you know, don't be stingy with it. And now 375, we're gonna check it after 45 minutes. So while that's in the oven, we went ahead and put our ground beef turkey mixture into a sealable bowl. And it was nice and cool. And now we're just checking the temperature on the chicken, and it is done. And so we're gonna let these cool fully before we put these in a airtight container. But look at that, golden brown, it's beautiful. And then we're just gonna stick it in an airtight container. I have this lid that you put on, and then you open this middle part here, and it releases the air inside. And then when you're ready to eat your chicken, I throw mine in the air fryer instead of the microwave, so that it makes the chicken, the skin nice and crispy again. So, sorry y'all, it's taking me a minute. So 325, and then I'm gonna do it for 3 minutes. And it's perfect. It just makes the skin nice and crispy. And then here it is, it's beautiful. Just reheat it in the air fryer. Delicious. Look at that, just juicy, beautiful chicken. I love chicken thighs. Sorry about eating on camera, I can't help myself. And last but not least, we are going to make some hard-boiled eggs in the pressure cooker. So we've got half a cup of water in here, plus our little trivet, and we're just gonna do 8 eggs today. So I put 8 eggs in the pressure cooker, and then I just gotta throw on my pressure cooker lid, and then make sure that the vent is sealed. And then we're gonna pressure cook them on high for 2 minutes. And then once it goes off, you want to release it right away. And then once the steam has released all the way, you want to get them immediately into an ice bath, which I waited a little too long, but it's still okay. I just wanted my yolk to be a little softer in the middle, but it was cooked all the way. So maybe next time. But look how beautifully those peeled. So we put 4 of them in a Ziploc bag. And the other 4, I'm gonna make some Carnivore deviled eggs with, since we don't use mayonnaise anymore. I usually make a kind of like a Carnivore hollandaise sauce with raw egg yolks, but I didn't have enough eggs to spare for that. So right now we're just gonna dump the cooked egg yolks into a bowl, and we're gonna do some sour cream today. So for 4 eggs, we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of sour cream. And then we're just gonna sprinkle a little bit of pink salt in there, just to give it some flavor and seasoning. Make sure you're using full fat sour cream as well. And now just a little mixy mix. Make sure everything gets well incorporated in that bowl. And now we're just gonna scoop some egg yolk into our egg well. And here you have Carnivore deviled eggs. Done. And here it is, y'all, meal prep for a few days of meals. And I'm gonna go ahead and sit down with my beef and turkey mixture, 2 tablespoons of butter, 4 of those deviled eggs, and I'm gonna have myself some lunch and break my fast. Sorry to be chewing on camera in front of y'all. But anyway, this, you know, buying meat on a budget and then stretching your meals like this really does save you some money. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to share this, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Hit that bell so you'll be notified of all my other videos.